Hell's Angels.
No, that's like the Crips and the Bloods.
Neo-Nazis marching in Nashville, Tennessee.
Where do you see the murder rate in a neo-Nazi group? I ain't never seen a neo-Nazi a day in my life.
They're marching in Nashville, Tennessee all the time.
And where's the violence? Who have they killed? Show me a murder statistic of the neo-Nazis. Okay, that's what I thought.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back again to a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out Black Conservative Dismantles Black Labour Panel live on stage on Black issues. This is going to be amazing. Like, really, really amazing. You guys are going to be thrilled, and I'd love to check this video out with you guys. Let's get right into today's video, guys.
Hear the liberal side of issues, and then you will hear the conservative side. Now, I know we're all here, home base, but be open to what you hear today from responses, the questions. Really embrace what goes forth from this moment forward. Our first question for today. The One Big Beautiful Bill has been signed, and that has made the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act now permanent. Here's the first question. The 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act includes opportunity zones aimed at revitalizing underserved communities. Do you, starting with the right, do you believe these policies created meaningful changes in urban Black areas, or have they benefited outside investors more than local residents? I'll start with you, Gothics.
To be honest, I don't know much about opportunity zones, so I'm gonna pass this to you.
Well, I think I'll touch on this real quick. I think that the opportunity that it affords to people, no matter what race or color you are, is tax cuts. Tax cuts benefit people who are functioning in the system that we're in capitalism. A lot of people somehow in their mind, they think the tax cuts only affect big corporations and people with a bunch of money. But the last time I checked, Black people have corporations and Black people have money too. And I think and so just making sure that those tax cuts didn't expire, which if they had expired would cause one of the greatest tax increases of the middle class that we've seen in a while. I think that's one of the things that I like that Donald Trump, at least the Republicans, have passed through that bill and Donald Trump signed into law.
Thank you. Thank you. Responses? Maria?
Opportunity zones are not just tied to tax cuts, they are tied to development. I can speak for my particular demographic in terms of where I'm from in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Hamilton County, Tennessee. We had our county mayor utilize Black census tracts and overdevelop those areas. And in the next 5 years following the original opportunity zones, we actually had a study that we published where our specific Southside districts and zip codes for the city of Chattanooga are some of the fastest gentrified zip codes in the country. So we had a large displacement of African Americans in our city, and we have seen a stark decline of African Americans in these specific areas through development and not just tax cuts.
Thank you. You said no comment, Mr. Reed. Any particular reason why you don't want to comment on that particular question?
Well, number one, I don't comment on things that I don't necessarily know much about. What I can tell you is this, to my sister's point, one of the things that I see as it relates to gentrification, as it relates to redlining and so on and so forth, is the notion of institutional biases and also systemic issues that continue to oppress communities, whether they're Black, brown, and or poor white communities, and really uplift the elitists.
Brandon, go ahead.
I just want to add to this. People a lot of times make gentrification out to be this inherently negative thing towards Black communities. If corporations or people with money are going into the community to buy property, who are they buying the property from? They're buying the property from Black people who own property there that have decided to sell their property at a profit. So it's not necessarily bad that there are corporations or money being interjected into these communities that make the community property value go up, but it also benefits the people that live there to a certain degree. I can see the argument where people are saying that it displaced a lot of Black people in certain communities, but listen, it's capitalism. I think that a lot of Black people benefit from it as well. If you have money, you have resources, you either sell your resources to make money or you can invest in your own community. Why in the world is it always the case where we're talking about black people or white people that are gentrifying areas? Why don't black people who got money, who have businesses, reinvest in our own communities? We're always looking at white people and blaming them for what they're doing to innovate communities to make money and make them better. Why don't we do that to our own communities? The problem is we don't spend in our own communities. We don't reinvest in our own communities, but yet we complain when others do.
Yeah, I just...
Wait. Before you go ahead,
makes sense.
that's the perfect segue into our next question, and it'll start off with you, Mr. Reed. What is the single greatest threat to economic advancement in Black America today? And is it structural, is it cultural, or is it policy-driven?
There is no single greatest threat when it comes to black folks.
Okay.
There's no single greatest threat. I think that we have a myriad of issues that we have been inundated by, we have been exacerbated by, and we don't have the luxury of identifying one thing. To your point, to your question, we have a trichotomy by which we have to deal with.
Okay, thank you. Brandon or Gothics?
To be honest, I agree that I don't think it's a singular issue. But I would say that I can trace a lot of the problems economically in the Black community back to having a lack of direction and a lack of identity. And I think within the Black community, people on a cultural level tend to handle their money in ways that aren't actually good for building wealth. And so personally, I think if you have some structure and you have a worldview that points in one singular direction, you're going to see a betterment in the economy, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that by saying that when you look at the single most issue, I think it has to be culture. Because everybody that's honest with themselves know, and I'm not saying every black person, because when I talk about the black community, I'm not talking about black people as a whole. I'm talking about communities that are predominantly black. Because there's black people all over the country that live in different communities that have a different mindset. But these communities that are primarily black, populated, when I was growing up, and I think I can speak for a lot of other people, there was no value placed in credit score. There was no value placed in investments. And a lot of times we were taught that we don't have a place in America, that we are not equal to anyone else. If you go to a bank, you won't get a loan. As if there's this perpetual state of black people being held down by the system to where black people didn't even activate on things that they had the potential to activate on. So most of it is culture, the culture of violence. When I was a police officer and I patrolled in white neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, and patrolled in black neighborhoods that were poor, there's a big difference between poor white, poor black. And one of the differences is violence. I do not know of a gang of Crips and Bloods in the white community. I'm just being honest. There's no Crips and Bloods in the white community. If you go to Chicago, Illinois, and you looked at the shootings that occurred over the 4th of July weekend, I'm talking 40, 50 people shot, 20 people killed. In Philly, drive-by shooting with 15 people, I think, were seriously injured, a few of them killed. You don't see this same type of violence in white neighborhoods. Yeah. And that is a cultural phenomenon that I think hurts black communities a lot.
Thank you, Brandon. Okay, so I see from Mr. Reed, and then Maria.
Yeah, well, number one, I don't know what neighborhoods that you, former officer Tatum has patrolled in, but where I come from, I know a whole bunch of Crips, I know a whole bunch of Bloods, I know a whole bunch of local high-risk groups that are in white neighborhoods. If you've ever been in Little Rock, Arkansas, if you've ever gone to New Haven, Connecticut, if you've ever gone to places that are outside of Chicago, outside of Philadelphia, outside of Compton, you will see that there is a permeation of a spirit that is trying to kill people everywhere.
Hold on.
Wait. Let me finish my point, my brother. Okay. So there is a spirit that is out to kill people everywhere. That's number one. The second thing is that the folks who actually are in a crowd who actually applauded there not having been gangs in their neighborhood probably don't come from neighborhoods where there actually gangs are. I know very serious risk groups. I know people, young men and women who in effect are involved in gangs. Now, they may not be as organized as the Bloods. They may not be as organized as the Crips. They may not be as organized as the Latin Kings, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is that they do exist.
Well, let me.
And I can tell you this because I did 14 years in federal prison, and I was locked up with many of those individuals as well.
Okay, thank you. 1 second, Brandon. Maria, you want to add to that? Maria, you want to add to that?
Can you ask the question one more time if you don't mind?
Yes. What is the single greatest threat to economic advancement in Black America today? And is it structural, cultural, or policy-driven?
I think it's all three, but I think if we were to sum it up in terms of the greatest threat to our community, it is ignorance of a lot of things. We have in our own families and in our community dysfunction. We do have institutional barriers that are very real. And at the same time, we have a lot of things that are going on. So like a perfect example in terms of ignorance, TBI statistical data for the state of Tennessee says that the largest violence that happens in our state is sexual violence, and the clearance rate for the Chattanooga Police Department is 8%. What is the lowest number of violence in our community? It's murder. But what is the clearance rate for that? 97%. So if you have a rape, a sexual assault, the statistical likelihood is that nothing is going to happen for you. But if you are murdered, there's a statistical likelihood, especially if you're coming from my community, that you're going to be caught. So I have to say from police data, because that's where I got that from, the TBI, categorizes data for the entire state and every police department in our state. We're not dealing with all forms of violence. We prioritize in our conversation certain types of violence based on the demographic and the people that we're talking about. But you can continue.
All right, please.
Brandon,
thank you.
go ahead.
I cannot name one white gang.
Hell's Angels,
No, that's like the Crips and the Bloods.
neo-Nazis marching in Nashville, Tennessee.
Where do you see the murder rate in a neo-Nazi group? I ain't never seen a neo-Nazi a day in my life.
They're marching in Nashville, Tennessee all the time.
And where's the violence? Who have they killed? Show me a murder statistic of the neo-Nazis. Okay, that's what I thought. Let's talk about the violence in gang. Let's talk about the gang violence. Are we willing to lie about the issue in the Black community of gang violence? These young dudes, let's look at the music. You look at rap music. We got a thing called drill music, where young brothers are rapping about murders that they are committing on a day-to-day basis. We see young men dead and lying dead in the middle of the street. Let's talk about the reason why sexual assault and murder is prosecuted at a different rate, or at least arrested at a different rate. Because when you have a dead brother laying right there on the ground, you have a plethora of evidence that you can see with your own eyes. Many times they're shooting people right in front of everybody, at parks, right in front of the club. So the evidence is there. That's why it's easier to prosecute people when you have a dead body. But sexual assault is stigmatized. Some people get assaulted and they don't want to tell anybody. It's a very different thing. You cannot compare the two. But you got to be disingenuous to say that gang violence and the violence that we experience in Black communities are somehow equal to what we see in other communities. It's just not happening.
All right, well done.
That's true. That is absolutely true. Officer Tansom came for her. I love his response, number one. I love how honest he is. He's very, very honest. The truth of the matter is that white communities, their violence is minimal. You hardly hear about it. But when it comes to black and black shootings, it's rampant in Chicago, like in different states. It's really, really alarming. When you talk about like crime that is happening in Black communities, it is very, very high. This isn't about Black people. It's like the least liberal. They like hiding it. They like hiding the truth and keep on blaming the white of all their problems. They just don't want to face the reality that the Black is actually the reason why Black are poor. The Black is actually the reason why Black are not moving forward. Number one, the cultural aspect and the mindset that I've actually given to Black people that you can never make it at all. You can never make it. You can never be as equal as the whites. Do you understand? So if it's a Tantum point of view as a Black conservative, I fully understand him and I fully accept and support him. Because, number one, our culture is messing our head up. Do you understand? When you have them, when they have cultivated you in a way that you be like, okay, you can go take loan from bank during those times. You are not equal as a Black man. Your forefathers have been enslaved, so you have lost 300 years of your life. Like the mindset of pulling you down in the Black communities is very, very rampant. Do you understand? It is very, very alarming. And you see a lot of people who have that same narrative. Like a lot of them have the same narrative, playing the victim game. This lady right now, she would never accept that the black and black crimes is a reason why a lot of black people are dying. That is a fact. If you check statistics on black people who have died in America, majority of that death is coming from black and black crimes. Majority. Like, but black people will never accept it. They're just waiting for the white cops to come out and say the white cops kill a black man. Boom. They will see BLM. Black Lives Matter. Billboard. Everybody's posting out. But when it's a black on black crimes, no one talk anything. Everywhere goes silence. People are being shot outside of the club. People are being shot in the park. Black on black crimes. This is not just talking. This is a gang shit. I have seen black on black committing crime, and I know what I'm talking about. It is very serious. It is not as alarming in the white community. I barely heard about the white community. I think I've seen some on TV. I've watched some on TV, but I've not actually experienced it myself. Like white on white gang shit. It don't happen. Even if let's assume it happens, the number is very, very less compared to black on black crimes. That's what Officer Tansom is saying. We are always pushing this narrative that white are the villains. But if we look deep into ourselves, we will know that we're actually causing more harm to ourselves than good. Because black people are always committing issues. Black families are not stable. Lack of fathers in the home. Boom. But you won't hear a black mention about it. Even in this show that they're having in this live stage, you won't hear them talk about black on black, lack of fathers in the home. The lady who is asking the question, you won't hear her bring it up. But that is the main core issue in black families. If we can tackle lack of fathers in the home, it has to bring a beautiful upbringing. A single mother can raise a child, irrespective of how they say it. Financially, the money might be there. You understand? But physically, teaching them morals. The mother have a little portion in the aspect of morals of a child. The father has another portion in the aspect of morals of the child. Both of them coming together makes it big combo. In the aspect of discipline, the father knows how to discipline the child more and tell him this is what is right, this is what is wrong. A child tends to listen to the father more than the mother. 100%. You can Google that yourself. So when it comes to black communities, unless they're ready in order to fix that lack of fathers in the home, this gang shit will keep on increasing. This black on black crimes will keep on increasing. And you see those liberals, they will never accept it. That black on black crimes is the reason why black Americans that die more. They will never accept it. It's just comparing black on black crimes to rape. It's comparing murders to rape. Most people who are raped, they don't come out. Most rape victims, they don't come out. Like, that is fact. Go Google that yourself again. Most rape victims, they don't come out. They just keep their mouth shut. They go through some trauma that is terrible. Like, throughout the entire life, they're just traumatized. They just don't want to say it. Because, number one, they're ashamed. Number two, they feel like they won't believe them. So I fully accept and support Officer Tansom right here. And it's 100% right for me. It's 100%. Him and the black lady who was also conservative. The both black who are conservative. I fully support them. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.